Hey guys, Nico here, and thank you for joining my very first manga haul video. So in this video, I'm just gonna be looking at what I bought over the course of the month of March. And with this being my first one, so I'm kind of just gonna go ahead and give a little explanation of every series that I have, why I bought them, what got me interested, and then any other video afterwards series that I have been keeping up with. I'm just going to explain what I've been liking or enjoying about it so far, why it's kept me interested, and then if it's a new series, why I started to pick it up and why I wanted to add it to my collection. So with that, I'll be doing these hopefully every month, and with that, let's jump on in. So the first series I'm going to start with is just got one volume. It's run of 3 is QQ Sweeper. Now this is a prequel to the next series that I ended up buying the entirety of the run, and that is going to be Queen's Quality. So we have right here, we have book 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to go through all those. So like I said, I ended up buying the entirety of the series that is out right now, at least for Queen's Quality. I mean, it's 13 volumes in total, and the reason I ended up buying this is because talking to someone, it was highly recommended to me, and you know, it is shoujo. It's kind of outside of what I usually read, but I got a chance to binge the entirety of Yona of the Dawn. I started reading into Skip Beat, and then a series called King's Beast. I really started to enjoy that, so I figured I'm gonna start boosting up my shoujo collection. And with I was told how much this was recommended to me, and it's gonna do the chapters. It's got some dark moments, so I'm interested in that. I think it's gonna be really cool to see and check out. So like I said, just the biggest portion that I bought of any book series. I have not started reading yet. I'm waiting until I can get my hands on volume 1 and 2 of QQ Sweeper, because it's, instead of it being like a prequel, from what I was told, actually started off as QQ Sweeper, then it switched to a different like publication, and then it changed the name to Queen's Quality. So next up, I'm gonna have some that I've trying to find, and they seem to be kind of difficult for me. It's going to be Bride of the Water God. Here we have books 6, 7, and 8, and then volumes 13, 12, and 11. Now another series that was recommended to me, and again, I haven't started reading it. I want to get the entirety of it. Apparently this is pushed by Dark Horse, and they haven't been publishing it in quite a while. So I'm guessing it's not like out of print. I think last tweet someone had showed me that they are revisiting the license to try and get the rest. So hopefully that comes into play. So maybe it'll be a lot easier to get some of the older volumes to start reprinting them. But it's another one I'm pretty excited to start and see where it goes. So after that, we have one series I've been loving stuff in it is Kingdoms of Ruin. And I'm sorry as there's a glare on some of these books, so it's gonna be a little hard to see. But this one, it's a by 7 Seas. I picked it up just by chance. I grabbed it, I skimmed through it, and it caught my attention. I got that like feeling of like, it seems like something I'm gonna be in for. And good God, did it not disappoint. A mix of like fantasy and modern times with magic and, you know, guns and kingdoms and stuff like that. Just was not what I expected at all. And this has been one of my favorite reads, to the point where this is one I'm always waiting to get when it comes out. And the next one I have is one I'm just going to show the back of. I'm not going to show the front because it's kind of not safe for work. This is MPD Psycho. It's a series I found at half price a long time ago. Luckily, I've found a few volumes and I love it. It's a detective that has multi-personality disorder, and each of the personalities kind of play a role in the story and this apparently like organization he belongs to. Very, very good. Got me really sucked in, like crime drama thrillers, kind of things like that. Very highly recommend if you're able to pick it up. It is out of print. I don't know if Dark Horse is ever going to print any more of these, so it makes getting a lot of the volumes pretty expensive. So hopefully if it ever go down in price, it'd be nice. But whenever I'm lucky enough to get one that's on a little bit more of the cheaper side, I always pick it up. Then following that, I have one book that I haven't read yet, but I picked on a whim, and this is Sleepy Horned Witch Romy. Now, I remember seeing this before online, and I wasn't really sure if it was going to fit my taste, but I saw it in the store, and I just happened to skim through it, and it gave me really big Hanako vibes, and I love Toilet Bound Hanako, and I get that same feeling or impression, at least with this, and at least the supernatural aspect. So I haven't started reading it, but I'm really excited to. Then following that, I have the volume 2 and 3 of Saint Seiya Show, if I pronounce that right. Big fan of Saint Seiya. Hopefully one day I'll be lucky enough to get all the books or get the entirety of the run. But for now, this has been filling that void for me. I've read the first volume and I liked it. I thought it was really cool how they kind of just switched the roles with a female lead instead of a male lead. And they have the duality between her and her sister. So very excited to finally kind of jump into the rest of the series because I did really enjoy it. So after that, and then we have another shoujo under the name of Snow White with the Red Hair. I've been watching the anime. I'm loving the anime. So now I'm slowly trying to get the books. So afterwards, I can just dive on into it. But it is on the list to slowly start completing and finishing up as time goes on. Then one book I was really excited I found is Shaman King Volume 18. Yes, I know they have the omnibuses, but I really want the original run. It's part of my personal big 3 from when I was younger. Maybe sometime I'll make a video explaining on what that is. But again, these ones are out of print, so they're very hard to find. And if they do, they're usually a little bit more expensive. I got really lucky to find this one in some really good condition and high priced books. So it's one I keep my eye out for. And just, I pray that maybe one day, hopefully I'll be able to finish that entire run while I'm over here collecting the omnibuses as well. And following up, I have Phantom Dream. I have not read this, but I love fruit baskets and it's by the Fruit Baskets creator. So that was kind of my sell. And so I bought it. That's really all I got to say on that one. And after that, next up I have Ion. So another book that was recommended to me that it's just a one shot, so it won't take too long to kind of get through it once I get some time, but just another to add to that Shoujo Beat collection now that I find that it kind of has a lot of stuff that I do really enjoy. And then speaking of those omnibuses, here is Shaman King. I think it's omnibus number 7, collecting volumes 19, 20, and 21. So while I can't fill the empty void that is not having original series, luckily they started reprinting them in this format. So now I'm getting in this manner while I struggle to get it in the other one. Next up, I have Smokin' Parade, another series that I always look forward to when I get a chance to pick it up or when it gets released. I love the gruesomeness that's in here. It's pretty gory. It's by the creator of Dead Man Wonderland, if I remember properly. And it's already completed. I want to say it's only like 10 or 11 volumes, I think, when I checked last time. I can't remember off the top of my head. Like I said, I love Dead Man Wonderland. I like how she writes. And this one kind of echoes that statement. A lot more action orientated. So gore, like action, people, like robotic parts that fight crazy shape-shifting creatures. This is a good one. And then following, kind of more wholesome slice of life book. This is Mama Akuma. The first one I bought, again, on a whim. I read the first couple of pages and it turned out not to be what I expected. This little girl doesn't have a mom, summons this demon to fulfill her wish for which he was summoned. She just wants him to be her mama. And there's a lot of sweet moments in it. I really wasn't expecting. And then having him have served people who just wanted like world domination or like power, fame, or wealth. It's a learning experience for him to try to figure out how to appease her to make her happy. So it's cool to see his thought processes change with it. Again, what I didn't think I was really going to follow for, but it's really good. Then we have a series picked up on a whim, and I really, really did enjoy it. Love of Kill. One hitman meets another hitman. The male hitman is just completely infatuated with her, always following her and messing with her. And there turns out to be a deeper, darker history that they're tied to. They just finished watching the anime that was released. I really, really loved it. I think they animated it pretty well. And I think it ends around this volume. So hopefully it'll get another season to finish it up. But I really did enjoy this one. Then to fit in that comedy fix, I have Mashal, Magic and Muscle. So if you haven't seen this, it's pretty funny. It's up the lines of kid in a world of people using magic. Doesn't have magic, but he has muscles and has to overcome the struggles and hurdles with just that instead of magic. It's got some really good comedic moments. Reminds me of One Punch Man a lot in the way that the drawing and the humor is done. That's why I kind of gravitated for it. But if you like comedies, just like silly, funny comedies with a little bit of seriousness, this is pretty good. And following up, Undead Unluck Volume 6. I was really interested to see where this would go. I was kind of leery with, I guess, how the main character treats the female at times. but the story got me interested. I do feel it's a little convoluted with some of the way it goes, and the explaining could be done a little bit better, but I like it. It's fun, it's exciting, gives you enough to get really attached to the characters, and the character designs are really cool. I feel you kind of want to gravitate and like really hear what the backstories are for some of these, because they're all really personable. Like they don't feel like they're just there, like they are pretty fleshed out. That's usually what kept me coming back at the beginning, and now I'm just stuck for the ride. Then another shoujo beat that may be a little bit more saucier end, Yakuza Lover. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I bought the first one. I guess maybe I was just like, ooh, that's a little on the edge for what I always get, and yeah, I love it. It's purely more on the saucier side with some things, but I do like when the serious moments hit, you see a little bit more darker, heavier lines, but it's purely just for the romantic aspect that's played between two people that are kind of like in that forbidden love thing, but it's cute. I do think it's cute, and this man is gorgeous. Like, why would I not give him my money? And following that up, as I said, Told It Bound Hanako-kan. I do have every single volume of this. I watched the anime first, fell in love with it, and then I slowly started buying the books because the anime didn't complete everything in the books and actually shift some things around. So this is number 0, so it's apparently just like the pilot to it, and then, it says her debut work before she went into Hanako. So I haven't had a chance to sit and read this. I'll wait until I get some time to like fully enjoy the series. This was one that it really threw me off guard with the way the art and the design is when it comes to handling the supernatural. I thought it was gonna be more cutesy and more slice of life, but it really does touch on some more deeper emotional kind of conflicts, which really threw me off, but it pulled me in a lot. So if you watch the series and loved it, go read the books, because there's a lot more that's not in there. And if you like those supernatural mystery and like slice of life kind of things, this is pretty good, so I definitely recommend it. Then just real quick, Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, it's Hunter x Hunter. It's good, it's great, I love it, and I'm slowly trying to get the rest of the books. So here I have 7 and 17 to add to my collection, and just keep looking out for the next ones. Then Cheeky Brat 2, another one someone recommended to me. They pretty much said, you like Maid-sama, right? I was like, yeah, like you should check this out. So I was like, okay, bet, let me get into it. So I have volume 2. I have volume 1 as well. I haven't had time to sit and read it, but at least just skimming through the first couple of pages on that first one, it looks like something I'm gonna enjoy. So I don't mind giving it at least another 3 or 4 volumes, and then if I don't like it from there, then I can always drop it and, donate or give it to someone or one of my friends that may find enjoyment in it. But I think I'm gonna like it. It seems like that cute romancy thing that's gonna kind of appeal to my taste. And then we have Golden Sheep. This is the last one. There's only 3 volumes. It's one I read the first one and then immediately went out and bought 2, and then read 2, and then immediately went and bought 3 because I had to go looking around for it. Not everyone had 3. Very short. It's just about a group of friends, and it just kind of tackles that, like, how people grow apart from each other, and that's just life. Like how you grow apart, and then not to hold judgments or resentments against people because of how they grew apart, and showing that you can come back together and still have those friendships. Like, we change, but we don't change. I cried a lot during the first 2, and I cried a lot in this one, but really good. If you like those like little drama, like realistic stories, like it seems like something that anyone could go through, and I guess because the story and the characters feel so real, that's what pulled me in a lot. So definitely pick this up if you like that shoujo genre, that slice of life genre. You're in for a ride. It's good. And then after that we have Sorasha. So this one, I just like the art. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really pretty. So I'm gonna be looking out for it. And then it's Yen Press. I try to find that. Usually the ones I have like I said, that kind of vibe, or that like think I'm gonna like this, usually never disappoint me. I think there's only been one series I've ever turned away when I've gotten that feeling that didn't turn out too great. So this one I'm gonna keep an eye out for. So hopefully I can find more and jump on into it. And then next I have the first volume of Carnival. I've read about half of this book because it's a thick boy, as you can see, so I had to take some time. but I'm digging it. I think it's really pretty. I like the artwork. The story, I'm kind of waiting to see where it goes. I don't know. I guess I felt like I had some like Bungo vibes with it. I love Bungo Stray Dogs, so I'm excited to see where it goes. But I'm enjoying the book so far, so hopefully I can find some of the earlier ones. Now, this is the only light novel I have out of the haul I got, but good God, Sabikui Bisco, if you have not watched the anime, it's got to be one of, if I don't know if it's like one of those hidden gems, but the anime was solid. Out of, I know Demon Slayer and AOT came out in the past season, this was it for me. Though the short amount of time that they really made you connect with these characters and feel for them, and could you say the bromance between this man and Milo it sold me. It's been a while since I've been in an anime that's kind of made me want to be a part of that world and be with them, or kind of like reminds me like Dorohedoro, where like every character I met, like I did find some likability within them. I didn't really hate any of the characters. So after I finished that, I went and picked this up because I want more. The second volume is not here. Who knows if they're going to anime, so this will have to appease me for now, unfortunately. Then something that's a little bit more on the freeing side, cat massage therapy. I've just been picking sessions out of this and reading them randomly because it's adorable. It's just a therapy parlor or a massage parlor, and it's run by cats, and each cats have their own personality. It's a blast. If you like cute things, just wholesomeness, and the comedy aspect that's in it, it's so good. I like going through and looking at the cats and then giving them different voices while I'm reading them, and it just makes it that much more enjoyable. And makes anyone who's near me and I'm reading it just slightly judge me. Next, Cells at Work Baby. So I do like all the Cells at Work series. I do have all the original series, Code Black, and then I see Baby. I do know there's some that are only in like the digital format, so I have been just picking up the ones in print. I just thought it was cool that it looks at from like a baby's perspective and building up. It's really about it. It's cool. It's solid. If you like the other ones, then, or at least just say maybe not Code Black, because Code Black's a little more mature, but if you like the original series, this still follows that kind of same trend, and it's adorable because they're all tiny little babies and all cute and stuff. Then a little bit more on the serious side, Blue Period. Watched and finished the anime. I did really like the anime. I actually had books 1 through 5 already. From what I've heard, the books do things a lot better. So I've been slowly going through. I just finished the second book, and I've been enjoying it. Like I said, I did like the anime. I saw this one. I've just been keeping up. I really like the perspective they give, like someone who's trying to learn and go through art, and especially the stressors and the negative impact it can have if you don't like self-care and take care of yourself. So that was a cool aspect to see brought into it that I guess I don't really usually see in things. And after that, I have 2 books by Shuzo Oshimi. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. So I have volume 2 of Happiness, and then Shino Can't Say Her Name. I haven't gotten to this yet. This is the only one I have at Happiness, but my first introduction to this author, or to this creator, was Blood on the Tracks. I've heard really good things about Flowers of Evil. That's on my list to get. This is probably the very first creator where I'm on the hunt for all of their stuff. I love Blood on the Tracks. Like, wow, probably my favorite like horror that's kind of around that I've been reading. So I'm really excited to see like what he did with Happiness, and then I know has Welcome Back Alice coming out pretty soon. So I'm really intrigued by that one. And then going back to the other sides, Zom 100. I'm not a big zombie fan. It usually turns me off of anything I'm kind of looking at, but I like that this one focused more on the comedy aspect instead of just like, I guess, the terror of the zombies. Like, yeah, the zombies are there, but it's really just the focus is his bucket list. This is what I'm gonna do. Oh, damn, I can't do it because zombies are around. Well, yeah, I can. How do I get around them? And that's usually the prime focus. So I didn't really have the usual nitpicks I usually do with zombie stuff, where it seems a little too over dramatic or stuff. And that's just a personal opinion of mine. But because it's focused more on that comedy, I do really enjoy this one. And it's one that I'm pretty excited to see where it ends up in the future. And following that, Fist of North Star Volume 4. I have not read up to 4. I read all the first one, and it's right up my alley. It's dark, it's fighting, it's like Mad Max, Thunderdome fighting in a way or like a barren wasteland. I love it. It really fits that demographic of like, yeah, this is something I tell for, or I should say, when friends speak of this, they're like, yeah, this is exactly what you like to read. And I can't deny it. It really is. But I'm waiting on volume 2 to get here, so I have 1, 3, and 4. And once 2 comes in, then I'll be able to pick up the series and finish it up where it was last time. And following that, I have the first volume of A Sign of Affection. This took a while to track down because only like 2 and 3 were out, but I can never find volume 1. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and that's really all I can say. I haven't had a chance to really sit and check it out, but I've heard it's really sweet, and I can't wait to jump into it, kind of add more to that romance like genre that is really missing out of my collection. Just have the typical shonen stuff, so I'm trying to add some variety. And with that variety, Fruit Basket, watch the anime, I still cry over it all the time, so I figured why not buy the books, because I love the anime so much. So I'm gonna slowly be picking these up. I really like the way it delved into like the characters' trauma, like what they had to overcome, how they became stronger, you know, Toro's whole journey, and obviously Kyo, like I feel like that's some of his struggles with that anger, like everyone can relate to some extent. I just thought it was really well done, so I'm interested to see what the manga did or how the manga handled it. You know, always those adaptations have various changes and stuff, so I'm interested to see what goes with it. And then next up, Ran and the Grey World Volume 1 and 2. So this creator actually have their North by Northwest series, and good God, is it gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love the artwork. It was one I picked up because I was like, oh, this looks real pretty. Fell in love with this series, and I did not know that this series was the same creator. So I read the first one, all based on magic. This little girl puts on sneakers and she gets grown. I've heard that there's some issues with ageism in here, and I guess I kind of saw it in that first volume. If you're not comfortable with that, you probably won't be comfortable with this book. I haven't gone into the second one, so I don't know how it's really handled, but I enjoyed the first one so far, you know, kind of taking that aspect out, or I guess not out, but just knowing it's there but not holding me back from reading it. But I've been enjoying it, and it still has that beautiful artwork that is in that other series I had mentioned. And then almost forgot this one, another Shuzo book, Inside Madi. Yeah, I saw his name and I didn't even question what the book was about. I just picked it up, and it seems pretty interesting. It's like a body switch story, but it's an older guy gets put in a younger girl's body, and it's interesting. Not like the pervy thing where it's like, oh, he kind of thing. It's the guy's like legitimately scared of like what's happened. So I'm interested to see where the direction this goes in. But another one I have to really keep my eye out for. I'm like, when I'm going out. And then continue the Ushimi collection would be Miss Kusakabe and Walt. I actually got these off of Denpa's Twitter. They sent out a tweet saying that they still had some physical copies left, and I was lucky enough to snag them up. Just really short. They are kind of bigger, almost like a comic booky format. So I was just really fortunate to be able to get my hands on both of these. I didn't think I would. Next up, then they have something called The Reformed. So I bought it just because the art reminds me of like some old school like Gungrave and Helsing, and it's very it's very Van Helsing-ish in the terms of the story. The writing is kind of cheesy and corny, but it's fun, and I've enjoyed it for that. It was like, oh, this looks interesting, bought it. As I said, story not the greatest, but it's fun and I can appreciate it for that. Then up we have, I'm not a isekai fan. I really aren't. To me, I feel it's so oversaturated. But this one really caught my eye. The Exo Drive reincarnation games, and the whole premise of this is essentially being isekai'd by Truck-kun has been perfected, and they've turned it into a sport. So two people get isekai'd at the same time and put in the same world, and they have almost like these dual disc looking things where they have like 3 cheat codes they can use. They give them abilities while they're in this world, and they have to get like points, and whoever has the most points at the end of like saving the world is deemed the victor, and then they get pulled back into like their own world. And it's like a tournament arc already. That's the only reason I bought it, because it just sounded so absurd. I'm like, I have to see where this goes. And I feel like this series knows exactly what it's doing. Like, it's not trying to be too serious. The seriousness comes in them like playing the game, but it's not trying to do some crazy deep story. It's like it knows what it's doing, and it's going full into it, and I can appreciate it for that, because it's fun. It's a fun ride. I said I'm not an isekai fan, but this one I will be continuing just because of how outlandish it is, and it's really a joy. And then lastly, I have my alcoholic escape from reality. So I do know this author does a lot of autobiographical things, but within I guess my main profession, I wanted to get this because of the things that I deal with in it. I was really interested to see what the perspective was of this person who was going through using drinking as an escaping from reality, which it's very common within my field. So it was cool to see their perspective, why they would drink. They're not realizing it was a problem, or the validations they would use to go to drink again, despite being told that it could cause them a lot of harm later down the road. Very personal within the story, and I appreciate this author being vulnerable to like share that side, because I feel like this is a side a lot of people don't like to share if they do struggle with these kind of things. And this took a lot of, at least for me, it takes a lot of courage to be able to do something like this. So I really enjoyed seeing this side of her and being willing to show it, and I love it. It's something I recommend to people to always check it out. Good example of just, we all go through our struggles, and it's okay. So with that is the entirety of my haul from the month of March. Not gonna lie, when I was trying to put this video together, I did not realize all the books that I had purchased during this month, so I was a little surprised. And knowing that I still have some things that didn't come in that were supposed to, just because back orders and shipping times and all that stuff, I'm a little frightened for April, because I think there's going to be a lot more coming this time around. But we'll save that for next month. So thank you guys for joining my video and just listening to me go through the things that I spend all my money on, and why my wallet cries every single week that I go to a bookstore. If you liked the video, then go ahead and give me a like. If you want more of this content, there's a subscribe button down below. And let me know in the comments if you're collecting any of these series, if you have things that are similar to what I'm looking at. Go and let me know, because I'm always open to looking for new series. Like I said, I'm trying to expand the type of, or genres, or the type of writing that I usually gravitate to, because I want that variety. I feel like it's just a good way to be more open-minded to the series and giving everything a fair shot. So as I said, thank you guys for joining, and I'll catch you in the next one.